bright and beautiful morning begins in Furfuri Nagar, where colorful houses shine and birds fly happily across the clear blue sky. Motu walks happily while eating his favorite samosas, and Patlu walks beside him, smiling and enjoying the peaceful and cheerful morning. Suddenly, a strong wind blows through the town, making leaves and dust fly everywhere and shaking the trees around them. As the wind stops, something unusual appears under the old banyan tree, and people gather around it with curious and surprised expressions. Patlu carefully looks at the old map, while Motlu imagines a treasure full of delicious food and feels very excited. Filled with excitement and curiosity, Motu and Patlu decide to follow the map and begin their adventurous journey together. They enter the busy market, where colorful fruits, shops, and people create a lively and energetic environment all around them. Suddenly, Motu slips on a fruit peel and falls in a funny way, making the moment both surprising and full of laughter. Patlu helps Motlu stand and carefully guides him through the messy path, making sure they move forward safely and steadily. Soon, they reach an old wooden bridge over a flowing river, and Motu begins to feel nervous looking at it. Patlu stays calm and encourages Motlu, and together they slowly begin to cross the shaky bridge step by step. After carefully walking across, they safely reach the other side and feel relieved, happy, and proud of themselves. Their journey continues into a quiet forest, filled with tall trees, soft sunlight, and gentle winds moving through the leaves. They start searching the ground carefully, moving leaves and looking around to find the special sign shown on the map. As Motu steps forward, he unknowingly presses on a stone, and something mysterious begins to happen beneath them. Suddenly, a hidden box rises from the ground, surprising both of them as dust spreads gently into the air. Patlu opens the box carefully and finds a clue inside, while Motlu looks at it with excitement and curiosity. With new hope, they follow the clue and begin walking toward a distant hill, visible far ahead of them. Climbing the hill is not easy, and Motu feels very tired, but they continue moving forward with determination. Finally, they reach the top of the hill and enjoy the beautiful view of the town, feeling proud of their hard work. At the hilltop, they notice a strange rock shaped like a lion, exactly like the one shown on the map. Patlu carefully examines the rock and discovers a small hidden lever, while Motlu watches with great curiosity. Motlu pulls the lever with effort, and the ground begins to shake and slowly open with a dramatic movement. A secret chamber opens below, revealing a glowing treasure chest that shines brightly in the darkness. Excited and full of hope, Motu and Patlu run quickly toward the treasure to see what is inside. Motlu slowly opens the treasure chest with great excitement, expecting something amazing inside. To their surprise, instead of gold or food, they find old books, tools, and scrolls inside the chest. Patlu reads a message from the chest that explains the real meaning behind this unusual treasure. Motlu slowly understands the lesson and smiles, realizing that the journey itself was the true treasure. With happy hearts, they begin walking back toward their town as the sun starts to set. When they return, the people of Furfuri Nagar welcome them warmly and celebrate their exciting adventure. Motu happily enjoys his favorite samosas again, feeling joyful after the long and memorable journey. They share their story with everyone, spreading happiness and excitement throughout the entire town. The town becomes full of joy as everyone celebrates together, enjoying the special moment of happiness. As the sun sets, Motu and Patlu walk together peacefully, knowing that friendship and experiences are the greatest treasures.
It was a peaceful evening in Furfuri Nagar. The sky slowly turned orange as the sun began to set. People finished their daily work and returned home. Shops started closing and the streets became calm. Motu and Patlu were sitting outside, enjoying the cool evening breeze. Motu was eating samosas happily, while Patlu was looking at the sky. Soon, the sun disappeared completely. Night had arrived. But something strange happened. Hours passed and the sun did not rise again. The sky remained dark. At first, everyone thought it was normal. But even after a long time, morning did not come. The entire Furfuri Nagar stayed in darkness. People became confused and worried. Shops could not open properly. Children stopped playing outside. Everything felt unusual. Motu, however, felt a little happy at first. He thought night meant more time to relax and eat. He kept eating samosas again and again. But soon, even Motu got tired of the darkness. Patlu looked serious. He knew something was wrong. He carefully observed the sky. The stars were not moving. The moon stayed in the same position. It felt like time had stopped. Patlu decided to find the reason. He started walking toward the town center. Motu slowly followed him, carrying a bag of samosas. As they reached the center, they saw something strange. A glowing machine was standing there. It was shining with dark blue light. It made a low humming sound. Patlu moved closer and examined it. He noticed wires, gears, and a strange control panel. There was a label on it that read, "Night Control System." Patlu realized that this machine was controlling the day and night cycle. Something had gone wrong. Motu, without thinking, pressed a small button on the machine. Suddenly, the machine started shaking. The lights flickered. The humming sound became louder. Now the situation became worse. The sky became even darker. Strong winds started blowing. People became scared. Patlu quickly stopped Motu and told him not to touch anything. Patlu focused on the machine carefully. He saw a broken switch and a stuck lever. He understood that the machine was jammed in night mode. Patlu climbed onto the machine carefully. The wind made it difficult to balance. Motu tried to help but slipped and fell again and again. Patlu reached the control panel. He slowly fixed the loose wire. Then he tried to move the stuck lever. At first, it did not move. He tried again with more effort. Finally, the lever moved slightly. The machine made a loud sound. The light started changing. The dark blue glow slowly turned into bright yellow. The sky began to change. A soft light appeared on the horizon. People looked up in surprise. Slowly, the sun started rising. Morning finally arrived. The darkness disappeared. Birds began to sing again. The town became bright and lively. Everyone felt happy and relieved. People cheered for Patlu. Motu smiled with a full stomach and laughed. Everything returned to normal. Patlu looked at Motu and shook his head with a smile. Motu promised not to touch unknown machines again. Furfuri Nagar was once again full of light, happiness, and life. Curiosity without thinking can create problems. But smart thinking and patience can fix any situation.
A bright and happy morning begins in the colorful town of Furfuri Nagar. The streets are full of cheerful people, busy shops, and children playing happily. In this lively town live two best friends named Motu and Patlu. Motu is round, cheerful, and loves eating delicious food, especially samosas. Patlu is slim, intelligent, and always uses his clever mind to solve problems. On this sunny morning, the two friends walk through the busy streets of the town. Motu smells tasty food in the air and happily thinks about snacks. Patlu calmly observes everything around him. Suddenly, something very strange appears in the middle of the town square. A large, mysterious machine stands there with shiny pipes, spinning gears, and colorful buttons. The people of the town gather around the machine and look at it with curiosity. Soon, the machine begins to buzz softly. Colorful lights start blinking, and sweet-smelling steam rises into the air. Then something surprising happens. A small wooden bench slowly transforms into smooth, shiny chocolate. Everyone watches in amazement. Soon, more objects begin changing. Street lamps, fences, carts, and even the fountains slowly turn into chocolate. The sweet smell of chocolate spreads everywhere. The whole town begins to look like a giant chocolate wonderland. When Motu sees the chocolate bench, his eyes grow wide with excitement. He quickly runs toward it and happily starts eating the chocolate. Chocolate trees, chocolate buildings, and chocolate streets appear everywhere. The town looks magical and delicious. But the fun does not last very long. The warm sunlight begins melting the chocolate. Chocolate starts dripping from rooftops and walls. The roads become sticky and slippery. People struggle to walk through the messy chocolate streets. The beautiful chocolate town quickly turns into a sticky disaster. Meanwhile, Motu continues eating chocolate happily. Soon his stomach becomes very full and round. He sits down on the ground with a big chocolate-covered smile. Patlu carefully observes the strange machine. He notices a large spinning dial and a big red button on the control panel. His clever mind quickly understands what must be done. Patlu carefully climbs onto the chocolate-covered machine. Sticky chocolate makes the climb difficult, but he keeps going. Chocolate bubbles pop from the pipes around him. Finally, Patlu reaches the control panel. He slowly turns the spinning dial back toward 0. The machine begins slowing down. The buzzing sound becomes softer. Then Patlu presses the big red button. Suddenly, the machine stops. The lights turn off. Everything becomes quiet again. Slowly, the chocolate transformations begin to reverse. Chocolate houses turn back into normal buildings. Chocolate trees become green again. Chocolate roads return to clean stone streets. The entire town slowly returns to normal. The people of Furfuri Nagar feel happy and relieved. Motu sits on the ground with a very full stomach and chocolate on his face. Patlu smiles calmly after saving the town. The cheerful life of Furfuri Nagar returns once again. And Motu learns an important lesson that day. Too much of anything, even something. A bright and cheerful morning begins in the colorful town of Furfuri Nagar. The streets slowly come alive as shopkeepers open their stores and birds fly happily in the blue sky. Two best friends walk through the busy street. Motu, a cheerful man with a round body, wears a red kurta and blue pajama. His best friend Patlu, who is slim and smart, wears a yellow kurta, orange pajama, and glasses. Motu happily walks through the street while thinking about his favorite food. The delicious smell of fresh samosas soon fills the air. Motu's eyes grow wide with excitement as the tasty smell reaches his nose. He quickly looks around to find where the smell is coming from. Near the samosa shop, Motu and Patlu notice something very unusual. A strange, shiny machine stands outside the shop. The machine has blinking lights, spinning gears, and metal pipes. Patlu looks at the machine carefully with curiosity, but Motu notices something even more exciting. Inside the machine, through a small glass window, a fresh samosa is slowly being made. Motu becomes very excited. Without thinking too much, he presses a big red button on the machine. Suddenly, the machine starts shaking and humming loudly. The gears begin spinning quickly, and lights start blinking everywhere. Then a small door opens, and a hot golden samosa pops out of the machine. Motu quickly grabs the samosa and happily eats it. It tastes delicious. But then another samosa pops out, and another one again. Soon the machine begins making samosas faster and faster. The tray becomes full, and samosas start falling onto the ground. A huge pile of samosas begins forming on the street. Motu dances happily around the growing pile of food, but the machine does not stop. More samosas continue to come out again and again. Soon the pile grows so big that it looks like a giant mountain of samosas. Some samosas roll down the street like little golden balls. Children laugh and try to catch them, while shopkeepers watch in surprise. The entire marketplace soon becomes covered with samosas. Motu slowly realizes that the situation has become a big problem. The machine is still making samosas, and the pile keeps growing. Patlu carefully studies the strange machine. He walks around it and looks closely at the blinking lights and spinning gears. Then Patlu notices a small hidden lever on the side of the machine, but the lever is high above the ground. Patlu carefully climbs the giant pile of samosas while Motu tries to help from below. Slowly and carefully, Patlu reaches the side of the machine. With a quick motion, Patlu pulls the lever. The machine suddenly makes a loud beep. The spinning gears begin slowing down. The blinking lights slowly fade. And finally, the machine stops. peace returns to the streets of Furfuri Nagar. The samosas stop rolling and everyone looks around with relief. Soon the people of the town begin laughing at the funny situation. Children, shopkeepers, and neighbors happily share the huge pile of samosas. Motu sits proudly on top of the samosa mountain and enjoys his favorite snack. Patlu smiles calmly as the town returns to normal. It becomes a funny and unforgettable